My name's Veronica, and today I'm going to be doing the second part of my March book haul. I know that it's like April 18th, which is pretty much the end of April. Oh my gosh, April is, wow, it has absolutely flown by. But I am not finished with my March book haul yet because I'm doing it in parts. I still have one more part to put up. And then probably right after that will be my April book haul for the full month of April. You might notice that I look, well, not my hair, my face looks a little nicer than usual, and that's because I have prom tonight. So I had to get my makeup done early this morning, but everything else is going to be a little while later in the afternoon. So that's why this part looks good and the rest of it's still kind of whatever. You also might notice, if you watch my videos, that my bookshelf looks a little different. I have rearranged it, and I've rearranged my other one too. They are in a rainbow pattern right now, but I don't know if I'm going to keep them like they are. It was kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision, and I might be changing them soon. But if you'd like to see a bookshelf tour while they're still like this, let me know, and I'll get on that. But without further ado, let's start. While I was on spring break, I went to Kentucky, and we went to the city of Bowling Green, I believe, and we were on our way to the shopping mall because it was a really rainy, kind of crappy day, and we couldn't really do anything outside. And so we were driving to the mall, and I see this huge bookstore on the side of the road, and it says half-price books, which I believe might be a chain, and I just don't have one anywhere around me. But I didn't know that at the time, and I was like, we have to go there. I was like, I don't care if you drop me off and come back later, we have to go. However, my parents didn't want to leave me there while they weren't there, so they stayed in the car and I went inside. So I only got to look through the young adult books, and I had to go quickly through because I didn't want them to have to sit out there for forever. And I also briefly looked in the Nicholas Sparks section. So that's where I got all of these books from, and I believe this is all the books that I purchased. I think there's around 20. And if I don't show all 20, it's because I already put them up on my shelves and I'm probably really confused about what I bought where. So the first two books on Nicholas Sparks, like I said, I looked through that section really quick when I first went in. And the first one I got is the Lucky One. And it does have the movie cover, which I'm not a fan of movie cover books, but I can deal with it. Zac Efron, I mean, it's okay. I'll be okay. This book is about... well, I know what it's about because I've seen the movie. I just didn't know how much to say without spoiling it, so I was checking to see what the back said. It's about this Marine named Logan, and he finds this picture while he's on his tour in, I believe, Afghanistan, and he kind of thinks that the picture is like his guardian angel, and so when he comes back to the States, he's intent on finding this woman in the picture, and he does end up finding her, and he even starts working for her, and they begin to develop a relationship. So that's what this one's about. And the next one is A Bend in the Road, which is not a movie, and I have not read it, so this one's totally new to me. All I know is that it's about a guy who falls in love with his son's teacher, I think, and his son's name is Jonah. If you're a Nicholas Sparks fan, you'll know that Jonah is the name of Ronnie's little brother in the last song. So I think that's weird that Nicholas would use the same name over and over again. Like, I get that they're not a series. It would be weird if two different characters had the same name throughout a series, but still, I just feel like he doesn't have that many books, and there's tons of names in the world, so he could have picked another one. Gosh. And the first one I have is an example of one of those 500-page books, and that is The Sweet Far Thing by Libba Bray. And this is the third book in the Gemma Doyle trilogy, and I don't own the first two, but I figured I'm going to read it one day, so why not go ahead and start collecting them while I can. I don't know what it's about because I don't want to read the description because it is the third book in a series. The next book I have is The Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen by Dean Sheldon, and this is a Disney Channel movie that came out when I was really young, and I was obsessed with it, and it obviously starred Lindsay Lohan, and I absolutely loved it, and I didn't know it was a book, so I was really excited to see this. And I want to read it soon. It's about this girl named Lola, and she's in high school, and she's in the drama department, and of course she has a rival who's trying to beat her out for some role in the drama, and yeah, it's just a dramatic little high school book. The next book I have is Sorceress by Celia Rees, and this is the sequel to Witch Child, And I read Witch Child a few years ago without knowing that there was a sequel, and I was like, oh my gosh, like so many cliffhangers and I have no idea. I was like so angry that she didn't clear up a lot of stuff. But this one is kind of a companion novel. It's set like more than 100 years later, and it's from a totally different point of view, but it does clear up some of the confusion from the last book. The next one I have is another sequel, and that is Beautiful Days by Anna Galbraith, and this is the second book in the Bright Young Things series, which is a series set in the 20s, which you all know I'm obsessed with, so I can't wait to get the third one and then read this trilogy. The next book is yet another one in a series, so again, I can't really tell you what it's about because I might spoil stuff, but that is Skeleton Key by Anthony Horowitz, and this is the third book in the Alex Rider series. If you watched the first part of my March book haul, you'll know that I bought Stormbreaker at Goodwill, and now I'm only missing the final 2 books in the series. So I'm very excited to find those and finally have the complete series. But Skeleton Key is my favorite in this series. The next book I have is another sequel, and that is Pretties by Scott Westerfeld, and this is the sequel to Uglies. And I just read this like a couple days after I bought it, so it was really good. The next one I have is Dairy Queen by Catherine Gilbert Murdoch, and this is the first book in, I don't know, I don't think the series has a name. Yeah, it's just the Dairy Queen trilogy. And it's about a girl who works on her father's farm, and she's like a major tomboy, and she wants to play football. So she does. And it's about the struggles of it, and just the struggles of being in high school, and being a tomboy, and being on the football team, and boys, and her parents, and her family, and it's just a very contemporary book, and I absolutely love this trilogy. I love the cover of this, because the covers that I read, like the covers that were on the books that I read when I originally read the trilogy, were really ugly, and I am quite fond of these, so I want to find the second and the third book in the matching covers also. The next book that I have is the, I want to say third book in the Blue Bloods series, and that is Revelations, and it's by Melissa de la Cruz, and I have read the first 5 books in this series, and I think there's 7 maybe, and whatever it is, I haven't read the last 2. So I read these like 3 years ago, and I want to read the last 2, but I remember it being a very complicated series, so I'm going to buy all the books that I've already read and read them to refresh my memory and then jump into the last 2. The next 8 books that I have are all in a series, and that is the Confessions of Georgian Nicholson, which I've heard are just very cute and light reads, and they're all by Louise Renison, so I will just show them to you in order. I got 1 through 7 and then book 9, and I did not get book 8 or book 10. The first one is Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging. On the bright side, I'm now the girlfriend of a sex god. Knocked Out by my Nunga Nungas. Dancing in My Nutty Pants. Away Laughing on a Fast Camel. Then He Ate My Boy Entrancers. Startled by His Furry Shorts. And Stop in the Name of Pants. You will notice that I did not get all matching covers, which is a little upsetting, but it doesn't bother me too much. I guess I can get over it. And they were all hardback except for the first one. So that's not too bad. They look pretty good together on the shelves, except now they're not together on the shelves because it's a rainbow shelf now. But those are all the books that I got from Half Price Books. I hope you enjoyed this video, and keep a lookout for the third part. It should be up very soon.